Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex and you are watching BC Adventure Tech. Today we're going to be looking at installing the Zorin operating system using the Unraid Virtual Machine Manager. And the reason we're doing this is because it is a great alternative to Windows 11, which as of today is costing $200 Canadian on the Best Buy website. Now, a lot of people are, from my opinion and what I'm seeing on the internet right now, looking for an alternative to Windows 11, mainly because of the cloud integration that Microsoft has done with the operating system. It's almost like you need the internet in order for this operating system to be functional anymore. So if you are looking for like an air-gapped system or just one that you want to have on a workbench, for PDFs or something, what have you. Many people don't want to be locked into the Microsoft ecosystem and being forced to link their Outlook account or having to create an online account in order to have a functioning operating system. So that's why we're looking at Zorin OS today. It is completely free for the core version as well as the education version. However, they do offer a pro version that costs $80. The price may go up or down depending on the time of year or promotions that they have going on. But from when I last looked, it was $80 USD. If you do want to invest in the operating system, it is a cheaper alternative if you want the professional version. And what the professional version gives you is different desktop layouts, as well as a couple other features that are, built into it, of course. So we'll go over all that stuff when we get into the video here. More or less, it's a great alternative and one that I even picked up. And it's a really great step for beginner Linux users. So it is built off the Ubuntu operating system. It's been revamped to make it easy and familiar for new users. So yeah, we're going to get it installed. We're going to do a walkthrough of the operating system. I'm going to show you how to get it installed using the Unraid Virtual Machine Manager. However, this is universal. So if you're not putting it in a virtual machine, all you're doing is putting it on a USB drive or a DVD-R if you're still going that route. And the installation steps are going to be the exact same. I'm just using a virtual machine manager in order to get it installed. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is head on over to the Zorin operating system website, which is zorin.com. And I just want to quickly point out that I was wrong about the price. It is in Canadian, not US. So $77.99 Canadian or around $55 American. And from here, you can either choose to get the operating system pro version or you can go with core or education. Now, one thing that I really like about the education version is that it gives you a bunch of apps already pre-installed with the operating system that even at home could be useful for a child to be learning coding, or looks like there's Minecraft on there or a version of it. And then they also give you an app store to download a ton of educational apps. Another cool thing is that it comes with a Vayon management console. So if you're a parent and you have a couple kids in the house and you deploy the Zorin operating system education version, you can actually go onto your education PC and you can control their computers and see what they're doing and shut them down or log them out and all that. So it does give some pretty finite controls to the system. Which, for free is pretty awesome. So with that, though, we're going to go back up to the Zorin operating system and we need to click download Zorin OS. And if you're just wanting to use a basic operating system, then of course use the Zorin OS 18 core version. So all you do is click download, and then once it's downloaded, if you're using Unraid, you're going to copy it into your ISOs folder. If you're using Proxmox, you're going to put it in the installation media where Proxmox has access to it. And if you're using a USB stick, well, then of course you're going to download something like Balena Etcher or Rufus. I much prefer Rufus over Balena. I just find that it gives you a little bit more of finite control, and I just prefer having more control over what I'm doing with my operating systems, and Rufus does provide that. So once you get that downloaded, you're going to get it into your ISOs folder or your Proxmox folder or your USB drive. And well, in my case, I'm going to be adding a virtual machine using the Unraid Virtual Machine Manager. So to do that, I'm going to click on Add VM. And because this is Ubuntu based, we're going to select the Ubuntu operating system. And from here, we're going to, I'm just going to rename it Zorin. And here it's going to ask us to select our CPUs. So yeah, we'll do 14. And then for RAM, I'm going to do, I'll do 32 gigs. And here we're going to leave the BIOS on OVMF. And then here we need to select our installation media. So I'm going to scroll down to Zorin. And I'm going to leave this on SATA. And our primary virtual disk size, because I'm just doing a tutorial, I'm going to set mine at 128 gigs. And that is all we need to do here. So I'm going to click Create. It's going to, because I have Start VM after creation, it's going to automatically boot into the virtual machine. Oh, what's going on here? Failed to connect to server. Okay. That's not right. Okay. Maybe if I use Remote Ripple. Let's bring that up. Okay, there we go. I'm not sure why the web browser version isn't working, but once you get booted into this, whether it be the USB media or your KVM or your Unraid Virtual Machine Manager, it's going to do a check on the drive. In my case, it's a virtual drive, so you know, it can check it all at once. But if you're using like a 1 terabyte SSD or like a 4 terabyte spinning drive, that may take a little bit longer to complete. And here it's just going to boot into the installation, which can take a minute. And it does give you the option to either try the operating system as it is, or you can install the operating system right off the bat. So we're going to be doing the installation right off the bat. All right, so we are at the main installation screen, and here we have try or install. So I'm going to select install, and here I'm just going to select the English keyboard layout. And I'm going to allow it to download updates and install third-party software. And here it's going to ask us if we want to erase the disk and install Zorin or something else. So I haven't checked out advanced features yet, so let's have a look at that. And nope, nothing that we need here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click install now. And it's going to go ahead and start the installation process, which can take a couple minutes. And of course, it's going to ask if we want to format and partition our drive, which we do. And then once this is installed, we can obviously change our display settings here. It's going to ask us where we are. And of course, I'm in the Vancouver, California time zone. And here we're going to have to set a username and password. So I'll use John Wayne. And password, our super secret password of password. And I'm going to set login automatically because it's just easier. Oh, my passwords do not match apparently. There we go. Continue. And now it is starting the installation process. So this can take 5 to 10 minutes depending on the computer you're installing it on. So I'm going to go ahead and let this do its thing, and I'll time lapse this. Maybe throw a little music in there. I don't know if I feel like getting spicy, but yeah, it's going to do its thing. So we're going to let it go ahead and do that. And then once this is finished, we will jump right back into it. Okay, so we're gonna let it do its thing. Once it's done, we'll jump right back into it.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
All right, so we are all finished up now. However, we need to do one thing before we boot into the actual operating system if you are using the Unraid Virtual Machine Manager. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this, and I'm going to go to my virtual machine, and I'm going to force stop. And yes, it was asking if we wanted to restart. Well, we essentially are, but there's one step left that we need to do. So we're going to edit this really quickly, and we are going to remove the installation media because it's going to want to boot from it again, which we don't need to do. So we're going to, I just clicked in, I selected all and deleted, and then I'm going to update. And from here, we can now restart the virtual machine. So I'll go back to my remote RIPL, and I will open back up the operating system. So now we are booting into the actual OS. And if you use remote RIPL, you'll find that the screen shifts halfway through the boot. If you just click auto, it'll make it a little bit bigger, and then if you hit auto again, it'll recenter where the screen should be. So we are now booting into Zorin, or should I say we are booted into Zorin. So let's start the tour. So open the menu to launch apps. You can search for apps and find shortcuts to common locations in the menu. So very much like a Windows start menu. You can choose your desktop with Zorin Appearance. So this is where the Pro version might be a little bit more useful for some of you, because you can select different layouts here. So you can go with the classic Linux, you can go with the Windows 11 style, you can go with the Mac OS style, or you can do the typical Windows start menu and program style. So in my case, I'm going to be using the, I do like the tabs down here, so I'm just going to leave that as is. So we'll go next. We can connect our online accounts, and I like that it has Nextcloud natively built in. And you can also do Exchange, Microsoft 365, Gmail. You can use IMAP. You can link your phone with Zorin Connect. So you can download an app on your phone and Bluetooth it to your system, or Wi-Fi. However, I have not tested that out yet. Yes, we do have some updates to do. So we'll just minimize that for now. Next, we can use what are you doing? We can use software to find and install apps. So it's very much like the Apple App Store or the Windows App Store. And that is it. So we can close out of this. And right here, we actually do have the software tab. So let's open that up. And we'll see what the Zorin operating system app store is like. So we've got a ton of options here. So we can do create, work, play, socialize, learn, and develop. So what's under create? So we've got Materialius, Boxy SVG, Bottles, so we can run Windows software, Deezer for music streaming, Sabre for notes, Screen Recorder, AI, Cine. Yeah, there's a number of, even Adobe Flash Player, that's cool. There's a number of applications we can install here. I wonder if VLC's in this. Let's see if we can find that. VLC, there it is. So we do have VLC here. So let's actually go ahead and install VLC, just to see how easy it is to actually get an application installed here. Yeah, it's just like using any other app store, whether it be the Apple App Store, Android App Store, Windows App Store. Super simple. So we can go ahead and back out of that for now. But there is a ton of applications we can get installed here. I wonder if they have Spotify. Looks like we're getting some freezing here. I'm going to blame that on my Unraid system. Let's see. Do you have Spotify? No, it does not look like we have Spotify. You can just use the website regardless. But yeah, you've got a ton of apps here. So let's go back and let's check out what they have in work. So we've got hex editor, zero install, 1Password. This 4K tube keeps a YouTube downloader. Oh, okay. I don't know how legit that is, but yeah, you've got you got browsers, you've got quite a bit of stuff in here. So that's really awesome. I really like that that is that this app store is built in. Again, for people just getting started with Linux, using like wget can be intimidating, using a command line for installation. So I really do like that they have a like a native app store built into the operating system. It makes switching a lot easier than from Windows or Mac than getting into like Ubuntu or a basic version of Linux. Yeah, that is really nice. And it does come with the Brave web browser, which is privacy focused. So, if, you have a government that roams the streets or, is monitoring your activities online, or you don't live in the United States, the Brave browser is it's a good option if you are privacy focused. Let's go to the update here. So here, if we bring in the details, there's we've got about a gig, 1.2 gigs of updates. So As with any operating system, we should be keeping it up to date for the latest security patches. And, if you're privacy focused, you want to make sure your operating system is fully up to date. Unless you're on Windows, then it just causes problems. But yeah, let's click install now. We'll let it do its thing. And let's open up. Yeah, there we go. Open up the details. Of course, you can use command line to update using apt, but this is a lot easier for someone who's just getting into the operating system. I really like the Zorin operating system. Actually, you know what? While that's doing its thing, let's go to display settings and let's update the display here. So now we'll do 1920 by 1080 and we'll do auto. And yes, we'll keep those changes. Oh, it even has nightlight built in. Oh, cannot be used on a virtual machine. Well, that makes sense. Okay, so yes, you can set your refresh rates, again, if you're not on a virtual machine, and you can set your screen orientation. So if you're using two monitors, one above, one below, and what I've been seeing a lot of people doing is flipping their top monitor upside down so that they have the slimmest part of the bezel sitting on top, which is pretty smart. And in that case, you can do landscape flipped. So if your screen's upside down, it'll reorientate your screen, which is really nice. So yeah, with all, we don't need to do anything else here. Well, let's check out power. Can we balanced? That sucks. Can't set it to be the, like Windows, you can set it to be the highest performance. You can set your online accounts. You can do sharing, so you can share folders. You can set up printers. And here it actually automatically found my office printer. Now I do have two printers. Will it see the other one? I've got one downstairs and one upstairs. I actually keep one upstairs in our laundry room underneath our laundry room sink because it just, my laser printer fits perfectly there, but it's not seeing it. So I actually may need to give it a restart. It's been a little while since I've used it. Let's see, we can do device color profiles, multitasking. Oh, you can set hot corners, active screen edges, sound, dummy output. Okay, so sound is not working. Yeah, we just got the one there. Okay. All right, we'll close out of this. And here it's saying we need to restart to set the updated software. So we'll go ahead and do that. The nice thing about Ripple and this operating system on Unraid is that if you do a restart, it doesn't automatically close the window as if, much like the web browser version of the VNC client would. So we'll let this reboot here. Nonetheless, it is fully working. This is the operating system, and you can actually do additional desktops. So we can do one or two. Again, very much like Windows and Mac. Now, I think I'm going to install this on a actual PC. So I've got that test PC that I used last year for some of my Unraid tutorials, as well as I've used it in a few recent videos demonstrating the iVentoy KVM, and and that's actually how I will install Zorin. I'll use my iVentoy KVM to deploy it over the network because I just find it's nice and fast, even on an older PC. And that's another one of the great things about Zorin is that you can bring older hardware back to life. So with that older PC, it's an older i5. It's got 24 gigs of RAM. It's got a 3 gigabyte NVIDIA GPU in it, all of which would be useful on an operating system like Zorin. So yes, it runs Windows 10 fine. Actually, it's pretty quick. It does run Ubuntu desktop fine, as well as Ubuntu server. And but I believe Zorin would be a great alternative to a Windows 11 operating system because, again, it doesn't have all that bloatware. It doesn't have all the privacy the intrusive privacy stuff that comes with Windows. Yeah, and if you're wondering why I'm not really crapping on Mac here, it's because, well, I'm a daily driver of Mac. I thoroughly enjoy the Mac operating system and the ecosystem. Everyone in my house has an iPhone or iPads, or actually everyone in the house right now, other than my wife and I, for our work computers for our 9-to-5 job, everyone else has Mac computers. My youngest has a MacBook Air. My oldest has an iMac. I have a Mac Mini as well as an iPad. We all have iPhones. The Mac ecosystem just works great for us. You know, we've got Apple TVs. We have Sonos speakers all throughout the house. You know, we use AirPlay. I've been crapped on for using Mac in the past. However, you know, I really don't care. It's a great operating system. The hardware has been nothing but good for me. It works amazing with my Blackmagic camera for doing video editing using Final Cut Pro. If you're looking for a Windows alternative, Zorin operating system is pretty awesome. So me personally, with the little bit that I've used it over the last few days, and by the way, this was a viewer suggestion, which I'm very thankful of because I had no idea this operating system existed. So I'm very thankful for that suggestion. Definitely check this out if you want a Windows alternative. Nothing beats free. The trade-offs are none. You know, I'm not seeing any trade-offs here for privacy or anything. What I see is a privacy-focused operating system, which I can't speak highly enough of. Make sure to give Zorin a try. If you want to revamp some old hardware that you have laying around, you know, get a PC going for your younger kids or whatever to get them introduced to the Linux operating systems, Zorin is a great option for that. With all that said and done, I'm going to end the video here. If you're still watching, thank you so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and tech isn't perfect, and neither am I. Something that I keep forgetting to say in my videos, but something that I remind myself of quite frequently. So yeah, leave a suggestion down below if you want to see something featured or covered. Head on over to my website, bcadventure2015.ca, if you want to get in touch with me, whether it be to sponsor a video or make a video suggestion, or even just seeking help. Make sure to reach out if that's what you need, and join the Discord, link down below. And I will catch you in the next one. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.